Hey everyone, just wanted to briefly touch on an article that was in the Washington Post recently talking about pickle juice as a potential treatment option for cramping. Now the theory behind this is the acetic acid in the pickle juice brine acts on the oropharyngeal nerve, which is a nerve in the back of the throat, which then causes a depolarization of the nerves that are causing the cramp. Now, in principle, I'm certainly not against recommendation of modalities like these that have less side effects and are certainly cheaper than other alternatives. However, when we're looking at studies like this, we need to consider what we call the ecological validity, the population in which this study was conducted and how that's relevant to the populations that may be experiencing this condition. In this study, the patients were all suffering from cirrhosis, which has high prevalence of cramping, so frequent cramping and quite long and intense cramps. And so while the physiological mechanism of a cramp is the same, when we take the studies from a population of psoriasis patients and then apply them to the general population, healthy population that doesn't have this condition in which cramping is more prevalent, then we consider this a relatively low level of ecological validity. The other issue with the study was that there was no placebo group. The control group were basically not even given the formulation. They were told to go out and buy a certain formulation of pickle juice, and the control group were not given a placebo alternative. So especially in something like cramping, which has a neurological component, it's certainly possible for a placebo to affect cramping. And in my opinion, it shouldn't have been too difficult to actually provide the control group with a placebo. So while this may certainly be an effective strategy, and it's certainly something that you can try with very little risk if you are someone that does experience frequent cramps. However, I would not base expectations on the outcomes that you're going to have from that on the results of this study. The other thing that was disappointing, it was in the Washington Post article, they talked about other mitigation strategies, but they didn't really mention improving the capacity of the muscle that is prone to cramping. So with everything that we talk about in injury rehab and performance and management, it's all about load management. And even though we don't have a really strong understanding of what causes a cramp, we do understand that it is likely a lack of capacity in that muscle tissue. And so if you are experiencing cramping, let's say it's in the calf, which is the most common area in which people do experience cramps, then I would recommend doing some targeted strength work for that muscle group and see if it decreases the incidence of cramps. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and look forward to speaking to you next time.